Is that a benefit or sometimes maybe a negative?
Yeah, pros and cons.
Yeah.
I found in my experience that some investors have no experience actually running a business, but they think they do because they've seen a spreadsheet. and they run their business through their spreadsheet and don't really understand what it's really like to actually operate a business.
The nuances of the operations.
So I would look for an investor, I think, that has had operational experience. And I've been lucky in that area, by the way, that I've got a great partner investor who has got operational experience. So they know, what it's actually like to be out there in the market, fighting to close every deal, dealing with employee issues, dealing with finance, it's a lot different than just looking at a spreadsheet.
I want to go back to one point we touched of education. Of course, when we say education, we mean any form of learning, right? But especially in the entrepreneurial arena, in the articles we read, people tend to always talk about the successes like Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates or many others who dropped out of college and started their entrepreneurial journey. So it feels like too movie-like, Hollywood style kind of thing. And in my opinion, it preaches on maybe values that are not really the ones we want as entrepreneurs, right? You you had a formal education, right?
I did.
So what do you think about that? Should entrepreneurs pursue something like this? Should they go to college? Should they just start at age of 18 and...
Wow, that's a tough one. So I do have formal education, but I took an unusual path.
Okay, let's hear about it.
We talked a little earlier about me being dyslexic. While I was in special needs classes in some areas of my life, I excelled in others. And so I ended up graduating from high school at 15 and got a chance to go to a high-tech accelerator school that the UK had set up at the time to foster IT talent in the country. And so I ended up teaching at that school after 6 months as a student. They asked me to start teaching classes and then sponsored me to go to university. So I actually went to university while I was working. So again,
that was in the US.
And that was in the UK.
UK. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I was in the UK. So again, my path there was probably a little unusual compared to many who go to university. I think that education is always important, but the way you get education doesn't have to be a formal, college, university education. And it's not always open to everyone. You can't afford to do it. So you can watch YouTube. You can read. Yep. There's lots of different ways to learn. And so I would say choose the path that's right for you, but it doesn't have to be a formal education. That's not right for everyone.
True.
I know that your education, Tiago, has been some great schools and you've got a great background behind you. But I think sometimes the education system isn't reflective of what it's really like out there in the world.
True.
And so it's important to understand where you're getting your education from, and are the people teaching from a book, or are they teaching from real life experience and knowledge?
Yeah. I think one thing that I would add to that, I think formal education at an early age, like colleges, I think it helps on, if you go to the good ones with the good culture and that we just talked about, it helps you surround yourself with good people.
Yep.